Well,
Tell us your name again.
it's Glen James. I run a business, Fortify Financial, and it's on the New South Wales Central Coast. I've been doing that, it'll be 9 years in March next year, and it was a business that I started organically from scratch with no debt. I've met all my clients, and I've got a passion for life risk insurance. I like to think I'm a bit of a risky at heart, and I love what I do.
Okay, why is that? Why do you have a passion for life risk insurance?
For me, you get the moments in your life where if you're studying something or I found that the penny had dropped and I just got it. And it's like, this is something that I really enjoy doing because I was a risk paraplanner before I started my business.
But was there a particular something, or it's something that you just realised over time that you had a passion for?
I think it developed over time, and then I just started to go deeper and deeper, and then I got into like business insurance and the complexities of that, and it was just so engaging and stimulating for me. And then coupled with that stimulation, you only need to have a couple of clients go through a claim, and then you really realise how much you've actually been a part of changing somebody's life. So
Okay, so you've got life insurance under your fingernails then, Glenn, it seems. Okay.
Yeah, really love it.
What about at school, growing up? What direction was your life going to take then?
That was interesting. So I actually left school when I was 16, and I did the first year of year 11 and the start of year 12, and there was only 2 subjects I was good at in year 11, and I was the first in the whole grade, and that was business studies and photography, which is really weird. And then I think I'm a high-functioning ADHD type of personality, undiagnosed. But,
no comment, Glenn, no comment.
But it's funny, I was so self-aware. I'm like sitting at school thinking, this is rubbish. I don't want to sit here, with some person telling me what to do. Like, it was just, so I left school, got an apprenticeship in telecommunications of all things, and weirdly, the skills that I learned then, I use today. So project management, forward thinking, problem solving. So that was not wasted. Then I finished that and started training at a private college with financial planning because I was always interested in business and investing. And actually, when I first did the diploma of financial planning, back then, I think there was a module called risk management. And I was thinking, oh, this is cool, investment risk. And then I'm like, insurance, what? I didn't know a financial advisor did insurance. So that was a funny thing. I didn't actually know what they meant by risk back then.
But you do now?
I do now. So the weird thing is I'm running my own business now. And in my business, I do a lot with photography, video, and social media. So really funny that the passions in school at age 16, I'm actually doing in life, generating an income from. So running a business, doing photography. So
it somehow makes sense, Glenn, but what else were you doing age 16 that you can tell us about?
Age 16, I did a lot of scuba diving, did a lot of jet skiing on the water, and then on the odd weekend I'd be doing community college classes about share investing.
Of course, as any other 16-year-old would do.
It's so weird.
Okay.
So that was really funny. So I think it was, looking back when I was 16, and I'd encourage any young person. So I got asked the other day by someone just started year 11, and somebody knew I was in finance, and they said, oh, Annalise has just dropped economics. What should she do? That's a mistake. And I just said, do what you want. Do what you're passionate about. And that's the only advice I've got for anybody, whether you're watching this and you're 40 years old and you're not loving what you're doing, just life's too short. Do what you love.
But it seems you've also had enough courage, or at least courage in your convictions, to leave school before you matriculated, quote unquote, to do what you felt was the path that you wanted to follow.
Totally.
So you need courage as well.
Yeah, I think there's an element of risk taking. It's just, I think you've just got to take risks. They don't have to be blind risks. They need to be somewhat calculated. maybe get a mentor or someone to oversee to bounce ideas off. And I guess when I was 16, I wasn't allowed to leave school and take that risk unless I had an apprenticeship. So it wasn't like I was allowed to just leave school and sit in the lounge all day. So I guess in that stage, my parents acted as that loose governing mentor role over my life. So,
and look at you now.
Look at me now.
Look at you now. Okay, so when you're not working, when you're not advising clients and running a business, what are you doing these days?
I've got a motorbike, so I do a fair bit of motorbike riding.
What sort of motor? Is it a trail bike? Or?
No, it's a road bike. It's a Yamaha FZ1.
Yamaha FZ1. We'll put that image up on the screen right now.
I'll get you one. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a road bike. Actually, a lot of people tell me, like, oh, why wouldn't you do trail biking? I'm like, if I had a trail bike, I would probably be dead because I would be just too crazy. So at least on the road, you've really got to be very mindful. I'm not a hero out there, but I do like motorbike riding.
Well, your clients will be relieved.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. So let's look forward. What do you see is the future for the industry, and what do you see for your future as a business?
Yeah, so for my future I'll start with the industry. I mean, there's so much change at the moment. We keep saying that every year. It's just this constant evolving thing. I think the industry, what I see, I think it will get to the point where the regulation, it will start to be unpicked. And maybe, so once we get on top of this curve, a couple of years into whatever that might look like, I actually think it might start to become easier again because they've set the bars higher at the front end, so they can maybe start to unpick some of the heavy regulation.
Sure, I get what you're saying, and we'll see what happens with that. And your own business?
Yeah, so I'm not really taking new clients at the moment. I'm just servicing my existing clients and doing that very well, which is very interesting. You service your existing clients well, they end up sending people anyway, so you don't really need to look for new business.
Fair enough.
I actually refer a lot of new business out to other advisors now because I just don't have the time capacity to take on that much new business at the moment.
Now, coming back to the present or almost present, have you spent any time overseas lately, Glenn?
It's funny you asked that. I probably look a little bit plump right now because I've just spent 6 weeks in the USA.
Okay, what was that about?
I had a friend's wedding at the start of the trip, and at the end of it I had FinCon, which is a huge conference once a year in the States, and it's all about money and media online. So whether that's YouTubing, blogging, podcasting.
Okay, and did that help inform what you do as a business?
Yeah, it really does, because we've got to be where our clients are hanging out, and everybody just hangs out on their phone every day, and a lot of, if my mum was watching this, I'd have to tell her to put a bloody iPad down.
We'll send her a coffee, don't worry.
Yeah, we'll send her a coffee. Hi, Wendy, if you're watching. So I think the more society is moving, the more that we've got our screens in our face, and so you've just got to be where your clients are hanging out. And so what I'm doing in my own business is I'm starting to do an online course, and it's available now. So a lot of leads that come that might be under 30, who might not be ready for traditional financial advice, I say, hey, jump on, buy my online course, it's $100. I'll walk you through how to set up a spending plan, download the spreadsheet that I use personally, and that's a good start for them. So nice. I can do that I sell them all over Australia and even...
So you're employing technology and social media to define or to structure a new type of advice proposition?
Totally.
All right, well, best wishes with that. And Glen James, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Freddie.
Thank you.